Why should you do a solo trip? You will have these core memories in your head. It'll change the way you think. It'll re-inspire you in new ways. If you leave for a month, the world is not going to end. Today we were waking up in Valley Views glamping. Usually I go outdoors somewhere to film. I was like, this place is too cool not to film. So I'm gonna film one of my videos here today. So the topic for today is, why did I make this a solo trip? And why should you also go on a solo trip? I'm gonna try to convince everyone watching here to go on a solo trip at least once in their life. The core chemistry of your brain is just different. Like, I feel like I think differently, I feel differently. So one of the reasons I went on this trip was because I felt like I was very dependent on people. I was always dependent on people for, like, my happiness, my safety. And what I mean by that, I would only ever go out if I could have a friend go out with me. Or if, let's say I'm going to a concert, I would be like, oh no, I can't go by myself because I need someone there to, like, protect me. Growing up in New York, you're always told, watch your back, watch where you're going, also not to trust people. Because of this too, I always felt like I wasn't safe anywhere I went. I started noticing that. Anytime I went out by myself, I always felt like I was missing something, or I needed someone with me. And I hated this feeling. I'm thinking, like, I hear some of my other friends go out by themselves, and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, how do you just go to the movies by yourself? How do you just go to restaurants alone? How do you just enjoy your own company alone? Like, I didn't understand that. Once I saw how big of a problem this was, I was like, no, like, something has to change here. I'm not gonna just live like this for the rest of my life. Just always feeling like I need someone with me, I need people. And the thing too is, I noticed when I wasn't with people, I felt like, dang, I can't do anything. It felt like almost like I was like locked up in the house. I hated that feeling. I wanted to be able to feel comfortable going out on my own, doing my own things, and not having to, like, rely on people all the time. I see things in such a bigger picture. It's not just I'm being held back in, let's say, going to a concert, but it would hold me back coming to a place like New Zealand, or it would hold me back going to a networking event where I would meet someone that, let's say, is now a new client. How did I start with this? I didn't just realize this and I was like, all right, let's go to New Zealand, let's go to a whole different country completely by myself. That's not how I started this. So I started out with doing smaller things. I started going to restaurants on my own. I started going to concerts on my own. I started going to networking events on my own. That was probably the hardest one, because at networking events, you're getting to know people, and I'm such an introvert. Being at these networking events by yourself and your only goal is to get to know new people, that was very scary. And yes, this was all so scary at first. When I started doing it on my own, I was like, this is so uncomfortable. At the end of every single time I did one of those things on my own, I felt very proud of myself. I was like, wow, I did it. Like, I survived. Like, I'm still here. Like, when you're out of that situation, you realize that it's really not as scary as you think. The more I started doing it, the more comfortable I got with it. And the more I actually ended up preferring sometimes going out on my own, because when you go out on your own, you don't have to leave at a certain time. You can show up whenever you want. You could, let's say, stay after to meet an artist. Let's say if you're at a concert, if you're at a networking event, let's say you're not feeling the vibe at all. I could just leave. That's cool. I could just leave. Sometimes when you go with people, places, they want to stay longer, or they want to leave early, or maybe they're hungry, or maybe they want to drink and they're trying to influence you to drink. It's like all these other things that I low-key started liking just being on my own. I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice. Like, I could just do whatever I want. So once I started doing this on my own, I started seeing how much my confidence was skyrocketing. I really started feeling like I could really do anything on my own. Nothing is stopping me. That's really how I started feeling. So after doing this for a while, I really felt in my heart that it would be so cool and impactful to do a solo trip. I really wanted to see what I was capable of, and also how God was there for me. That was a big one. Why should you do a solo trip? So if you feel like you're too dependent on people on going out, similar to me, going out, depending on people for your happiness. Also, if you're in your early 20s and it's been instilled in you to just work, chill out. Just chill out. So many of us are like, oh, we gotta save for a house. We gotta save for my kids' college. We gotta save for this, and that. Yeah, it's good, but at the same time, enjoy life. You will have these core memories in your head. It'll change the way you think. It'll re-inspire you in new ways. If you leave for a month, the world is not going to end. It is not going to end. When I come back to New York, everything's still going to be there. My dog's going to be there. My parents are going to be there. My brothers are going to be there. My business is still going to be there. And you know what? I took a month away to get re-inspired, refreshed. You should also take a solo trip if you've never done something like this before. If you're always around people, if you're always around your friends, you're always around family, you're always around your significant other, you're always around your kids, let's say. I know some people can't do it because of kids, but if you can do it, then just do it. Like, it's such a new experience that it's so scary at first, and you might show up to whatever country you're going to, and you might just start crying because you feel like you're scared, but that passes, and you're going to be so grateful you did this, and you're going to have stories to tell people when you're 60 years old, because these memories will never leave your head. Like, for me, I, like, in my shoes, I think about, I'm going to tell my great-grandkids, oh my gosh, yeah, I went to New Zealand as my first solo trip. It was the best time of my life. That's where I went skydiving for the first time. That's where I saw glaciers for the first time. I went ATV riding here. I went on kayak tours here. I met so many new people. I felt so much confidence. Like, I feel like I could give my future family so much wisdom just based off this one trip that I did. What do I feel like I learned from this that you could also potentially learn from a trip like this? I really learned how to value people, because once you get to know people that you've never met before, it feels so rewarding just to get to know someone and what they've been through, why they're here right now. I've met some people that are also on a solo trip that just feel like they needed to just get away, very similar to me. Just, I needed to get away, and it's so nice seeing other people are in the same boat as you. That you're not doing this alone in this world, because sometimes you feel very alone. Like, is anyone else feeling what I'm feeling? Feeling to get away, like I'm working too much. You hear their wisdom and you relate with them. I also feel like I'm not afraid of anything. Like, I can go anywhere I want to go. And I really genuinely feel like I'm not alone here. I feel like I'm here with God. And that is the most rewarding feeling in the world, because it even says in the Bible, you can be in the deepest, darkest place, and I'm still there with you. And that's how I feel. I'm not in the deepest, darkest place, but I am somewhere where my family is not, I have no friends here. I'm completely alone, but I still feel like God is with me in my heart. I could be at home, and I could be at a video shoot, or I could be, I don't know, in a creepy alleyway, or I could be, here. And I feel like God's with me, and that's something I've really taken away from this. Another thing I feel from this is that I have a new level of confidence. There's so many times where things will go wrong, and I instantly go to someone. I'm like, something's wrong, and I need your help, and I can't do this on my own. And now, being here on my own, I'm the only person to fix whatever the problem is. That gave me such a new level of confidence that I didn't even realize I would gain from this, is that I'm just figuring it out on my own. There's so many times, like, for example, I was trying to return the rental car for like an hour. I don't know why. The place was closed. The other rental car place where I was supposed to drop it off was like around the corner, but like my travel agent didn't tell me that. Long story short, I find it, but the thing is that usually I'll go to someone, or I'll just give the problem to someone else. And something like this, I was just like, no, I gotta figure it out on my own. Last thing I wrote is that I really learned how to enjoy my own company. I could just sit in front of a view, and I could just not be bored, and I just enjoy my company so much, and I'm totally okay with that. And that's something I've never been okay with. There's so many times where I'm like, oh, I feel lonely, I wish I was with someone, I wish someone was here doing this with me. But now, I genuinely feel like I can make friends wherever I go, which, oh my gosh, that is the best feeling in the world. I could be in a random country I've never been to before with no friends, and I could just make friends. Like, it's such a skill that I didn't realize that was so important. This is why I went on a solo trip. This is why you should go on a solo trip. I'm now gonna go wine tasting and have a nice big platter of crackers and cheese and chips and all this fun stuff. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys like the new view today. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you have anything to add to this, add in the comments. Time to go drink some wine now.